All right, so we're back. I had a lot of tech help, a lot of tech help from the provider. In the last video when I started, the um, they were calling actually 11 minutes in, which was strange. Never had a provider call me. I had called them early this morning to find out what was going on, and they said there was like there was a problem in the city in Vancouver, and they wouldn't be able to do anything till the evening. And so then I thought, okay, well, I have a really good provider for my cell phone, so then I'll use my hotspot. But then that went down as well. So both went down. And I'm just getting like some verification that everybody can hear me and that I'm here. So Laura, hugs, welcome back. Thank you, Laura. So yeah, I did write down, well, actually, I got my son to screenshot the questions because I knew as soon as the YouTube goes down, the live, then the questions disappear. So I wrote them down. So I do have everybody's questions. Lynn's back, Laura's back. Great. So you guys were in the first live. So thank you so much. We actually had a really amazing tech person help us with the internet, with the provider that we have. So she did a really good job. I told the guy this morning, I'm like, you have all the power and you're not helping the people. And he's like, well, I can't do anything. And I'm like, well, it doesn't make sense, that it was off for so long. So this has kind of been going on for a while with the lives, trying to get my well, it's having a stable internet. So we're here. So let's land in this present time. There's the internet problems, and then there's the bigger kind of source, what's happening in terms of like source consciousness. So to me, I see things as the practical. I'm a very practical, grounded person. I'm in the body. And then I also look at the overview of what is happening. So I call that like the interference. And so the interference comes from 4D, and it's the Anunnaki. They're the ones that have like the banking systems and the internet and all the technology. So that's why they seemed like, or they thought of themselves as gods. But they are from source, but they have disconnected themselves from source. So they have very little source light. So they need the light beings, like the heart beings. So the empaths, the sensitives, the star seeds, the light workers, we have the source light because we haven't disconnected from source. And so they're wanting our kind of energy, they're losing energy. So I don't know if people have heard of that kind of like loosh where they need energy from basically the star seeds, light workers. And they really like hijacking the nervous system, because if they hijack the nervous system, then we're dysregulated, and then they're obviously loosh with that fear, guilt, shame, anger, sadness. So they try to hook back. And so we're constantly hooking into that system of dysregulation. And the work that I do is to see the installations and then to remove the interference. And then we're removing it to the root cause. So to the very first incarnation, if you don't believe in past lives, we're going right to the root cause. And so they, but now many people are transitioning in terms of their consciousness, and their state of being is in 5D. So they're getting kind of out of 4D. So they're kind of panicking. So they're doing more interference because they want to kind of bring us back. But I'm not coming back. I'm here now. I am very strict about my energy and about clearing my space. And I've heard people say, oh, like you don't need to do all of that stuff. It's like, yes, you do, right? Unless you're in 6, 7D. I know people on Earth, there's not very many, but that are at 9D. And you probably don't have to do much at 9D, but you do at 7D and 6D and 5D and 4D and 3D, because we are in 3D bodies. And so if you get to 9D, you can't be in a human body at 10D. So at 10D, the form becomes formless. So that's my understanding. So the interference, and that's why the technology decree is so important for light workers, star seeds, empath sensitives, black sheep, because the interference comes through technology, and it ramped up in 2000. In 2000, we were told, oh, the banking system was going to close and the banking system was going to shut down because it's all those 3 zeros. But really what it did is rolled out more technology. So more cell phones, computers, smartwatches, smart vacuums, smart doorbells, smart, like everything. But it's not smart because it's that frequency creates a constant irritation to the nervous system, and the vibration of all of that tech irritates the nervous system. And if your nervous system is not calm, you're not going to feel good ever. You're just not. And that's really what hooks into addictions and hooks into us wanting to find relief. We're looking for relief for our nervous system, for our body. And the body is not the problem. The body is source, and it's source through our hearts, our higher self, and then that pillar of light inside of us is source. So that's how we're connected through our hearts. All right. Okay. So I gave the spiel of what I believe is the background of what happens with technology. But that's, again, the technology decree gets rid of that, and we just claim all technology in source's name. And then now I've gone even further, and I say if there's interference with the technology, then I want the interference sent to source, and then have source deal with it. And that's a lot of consciousness. It's a lot of consciousness to name things in source's name. And it's a lot of consciousness to see that our technology is what we are the most controlled by right now. Right? And also, it's also the gift, because, we couldn't do these lives globally. We have a global audience because of technology. But if we claim it in source's name, we're using technology that was created by the Anunnaki, but we are claiming it for source. That's kind of how I see it. So thanks for being here. Okay, so Laura says, hugs, welcome back. Thank you. My nose is itchy. I think, Laura, I feel like you're getting some money. I feel like it's coming from you, or some kind of abundance is coming in for you. Yeah, it's now that, because I was like, what is going on? And I always ask the questions and then I wait to see what comes through. But every time I ask a question, the answer does come through. And then I say the answer the way your higher self wants me to say the answer, because that's a seer. So a seer, always we receive like a receiver, but we replay the information as it is. No distortions, no judgment, no qualifying, none of that. It's like that comes in and it goes out. And I actually don't remember much past the session. So it literally comes in, comes out of my mouth, and then it's gone. So it doesn't stay in my system. So forgive me if I don't remember the details, but I do remember you, Laura. I don't remember the details, but I do remember you. I remember the person, the being. Okay, so connecting here. So let's call in our guides. Let's connect with calling in the source's golden light. So we just want to bring in source's golden light kind of in us, through us. You can even imagine the pillar of light inside and emanating out, not just source coming in, but inside and then emanating out. That's beautiful, actually. Some releases here. for the team, I call them, for the group gathered. And really, truly, thank you for coming back onto the live. It was pretty much like a long time. It's like an hour and a half. It was interesting though that they called me 11 minutes into the live. So it was 11:22. Okay. So source, and then connecting to that column of light inside of us, which is source, which is our higher self, and then have that emanating out. And then that's Eckhart Tolle's work. Eckhart always is in the body, through the heart, he calls it the deep I. I call it the higher self. So he says he doesn't like higher self because people pop out of their bodies. And consciousness awakening is in the body. And it's a gift, actually, because when you're formless, it's hard to see what is interfering with you and your system and why are there loops. When we have a body, we're lucky because we can actually see what is irritating our nervous system, and we can see what is not organic to us, like what does not belong to us, which is a huge gift on earth, right? So it's almost like we've been told the opposite. I don't know. I feel like everything's the opposite. Not everything, but so much of what we were taught. That's why I don't think of myself as a spiritual or religious person. I just focus on consciousness and source. And I will use the word God, but you don't have to. You can use source. One of my teachers uses the terms like high vibrational positive. I don't use that term because then if there's a high vibrational positive, then there's a high vibrational negative, right? So you're kind of calling in both, is how I see it. But I know that's not his intention. He's a lovely person. But I always then focus on source, because source is the all of unconditional love. And then you can just say unconditional love, and then that takes care of a lot of problems. You can say guides of unconditional love, angels of unconditional love, source of unconditional love. So, okay. Okay, so we've got the few people here, and I did write down your questions. So I'm going to go in order. It was Lynn, I think I had her question first. So Lynn, 1962. And Lynn wants to know, why did she fall and twist her right ankle? And what was the lesson? And then she also, the ligament got sprained. And yeah, so just reading the questions, just reading the chat. I'm just going to send you guys hearts because I'm so grateful that you're here. This is like a long path, a long road, but the cherry blossom trees are out. It's gorgeous. It's, even though it's kind of overcast and rainy in Vancouver, it's still gorgeous with all the cherry blossom trees. So, okay. So Lynn, why did you fall? Why did you twist your right ankle? Yeah, right away, it's like you're falling over yourself. So it's like the mind is going faster than the body. So the mind is the conscious mind, and that is like an installation. It only comes on later in life, like depending on early childhood trauma, but you can have no conscious mind on earth until you're like 7 or 8. And then now with all of the technology, it's getting younger and younger. So we're not holding that source consciousness as long in our childhood. Okay, so the mind is going faster, but we want the heart to be the fastest, meaning the higher self. So the mind will say, go, 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 or you're too slow, or you're not fast enough, or you're not doing it well enough, or you should go, 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 go. That's what we're hearing. We're hearing like a repetition. And then you can just say stop, like we're stopping it right now. And so see how that feels in the body, right? Because this work is only important is if the body agrees. And so we just said stop to the mind. And then how did the body feel? Okay, good. And then just open, 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 and opening to your higher self. So just releasing the tension in the right shoulder, right? The body has the map. The body will tell us exactly what's happening that needs to get released, because the body is source in a body. Okay, good. So just releasing that. And so we think it's the ankle, so at the bottom of the body, but it was really the mind, and it was really the shoulders. So we're just opening the shoulders and then releasing the shoulders, especially the right shoulder, which is this time now. And then just breathing it out, because it propels you to be off balance, the mind, and the constant chit chat of the mind. It's propelling you out of your body. So we're bringing you back into your body, back into the now, and back into alignment. So you can feel it. You'll feel it in your core. So your first three chakras, the root sacral is 2 inches below the belly button, and the sacral, and the sacral and the solar plexus, where the ribs meet, you'll feel it in the gut. Right? So we're bringing the alignment back into alignment. And then right away that we can feel how tense the shoulders are, because the shoulders have been moving forward. The shoulders have been going forward. So we're just bringing the shoulders back. And then opening. So we're putting the alignment back. And then once your alignment is back, the nervous system calms down instantly. The nervous system is like the alarm system. The nervous system is like the compass. It's saying something's not right. It's really saying, don't listen to the mind. If it could speak, it's like, listen to us, the compass and the heart, the higher self, the source. Listen to source. And we think, oh, source is way out there somewhere. It's not. It's inside, in our hearts. It's in our consciousness. Our consciousness is source. And then we want to have as much source consciousness as possible. And, right now, the sky's the limit. Everybody's shifting right now. And I do know some 9Ds. There's not many, but the fact that I know a couple is pretty remarkable, because I don't know that many people. So it is available. It's not just 5D. New Earth is from 5 to 9D, right? No hierarchy. Okay, so Lynn says, yeah, she's been having stiff shoulders before the fall. Yeah, so the shoulders were the message from the compass, the inner body. That's Eckhart Tolle's word, the inner body. My word is the compass. So, and your word might be a different word, but that's the framework. And then whatever is like a click. If I say compass, I'm like on. If I hear inner body, yeah, it takes me right into the inner body. So good. So we're just releasing Lynn's shoulders, both of them now. So we're releasing the left. And then now we're adjusting the neck and it's actually a big adjustment, but we're going to align the atlas. So once the atlas is aligned, let's see. Let's see. We want to bring harmony to Lynn. We want to bring harmony to her whole system, but with her alignment. And then everything, the rest of the body are like messengers, like the ankle is a messenger, but it was not the source of the problem. Okay, good. So let's see if we can get her and Lynn. We're like, if we can get Lynn in alignment, it will solve a lot of problems. So All right. A crow just landed outside the window. So confirmation from Earth. So the crows are like the Earth beings that land to bring a message. And so the message is received. So alignment, yes. So they said they're going to work closely with you for 3 days to work on your alignment. But once your alignment is there and it's steady, you're going to feel very secure in your body. And they're kind of want to say the message is from top to bottom, bottom to top. So there's going to be that flow going all the way around. And so it is a pillar of light inside, which is source, and your higher self is one, and then emanates out from the pillar of light inside. So that's good. Yeah, we're saying that's good. So we're going to keep working on that with the alignment. It's more just releasing and then suggesting to the body to come back into alignment, and then releasing, and then suggesting to the body to come back into alignment, and then releasing and suggesting to the body to come back into alignment. But the intention is for harmony. So Lynn will feel very harmonious with this. It's like a clearing and an activation. We want to call it both. It's an alignment. And then things can heal very quickly. So don't think, oh, well, you know, my ankle takes 2 weeks. You don't have to. Energy work, once the core shifts, everything can shift very quickly. So we found the root cause was happening even before the fall, before the injury. So good. Yeah, we're hearing good. We're hearing good. Good, 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 good. Good, Lynn. Good job, Lynn. She received it. And that's what's so important, because it's by consent. Because, you know, your team can't bring in anything unless you say, I want this. I want this healed. I want this cleared. You know, yes. You know, they need to hear the yes, because Earth is free will. So they got Lynn's message. Lynn says, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Okay, thanks, Lynn. All right, so let's close for Lynn. So we just want to bring in source golden light again for benevolent healing, right to the root cause, benevolent clearing to bring in harmony. So for Lynn, it's all about harmony, bringing in that harmony and the alignment. And then now we're going to release Lynn to her team of unconditional love, and they'll continue the work. So thank you, Lynn. All right. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, much love and thanks. Thank you for your question. And then again, thank you for being here. This is amazing that you are all able. I don't know if everybody's back, but the majority or some are back for this live. And the message that comes through is source always wins. You know, we feel so downtrodden in 3D, you know, so much happens to our bodies, so much happens to us, but source really is always there. And source is always 17 steps ahead. And so I know even with the technology, what got reclaimed, what got transformed was very powerful in this session. So to have so much tech happen during a YouTube live that isn't happening at other times. You know, I call them the little stinkers, because they tell on themselves, you know, oh, we don't want this to happen. And so, you know, we're going to get rid of the internet or whatever. It's not that personal. Like, I don't even take it that personally. It's part of the seeing. And then I just let it go, because it doesn't matter. I just stay with source, unconditional love, and I come back into my heart and I come back into my body, and I'm super grateful for my body. And I'm super grateful for my team of unconditional love. And then I deal with everything like super, like an arrow, like a golden arrow as it comes in. And then I let it go. Yeah. So Sini just says the light of God never fails. It is really true. It never fails. But we have to call on God, Source, angels of unconditional love, archangels of unconditional love. I always say if you say unconditional love, you are not going to get a false guide or a false angel. And they are everywhere and they mimic you in your voice. So you're hearing yourself, but notice how your body's feeling. Because if it's not organic to you, you're going to feel an ick or or something is uncomfortable. And you will know, your body will tell you, your compass will tell you. And I know anytime I've been in kind of very dangerous situations, I've looked back and I absolutely know how my body felt in those moments. So we're here to learn, right? Okay. So let's see. Okay, so the person that I had for the last live where we got cut off from the tech was Laura. So Laura, I think, is Laura here? Yeah, Laura's here. Okay. So Lynn was here in the last live, and then Laura is here. And then I see Sinija has a question too. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna get everybody's questions answered, but let's do Laura now. So Laura, so we've closed kind of what I call close the books. We closed the books on Lynn, 1962, and she's with Source, so we sealed it with golden light, and her team of unconditional love will continue to work with her. Okay, so many healings and blessings. And then, yes, what a beautiful group that we have. We are creating a community. I don't even know if anybody here is from Vancouver. Maybe you could tell me if you want. I don't know. I don't want to get any. My question was in three parts. Yeah, I got that. Laura says her question was in three parts. Yeah, I did. I did get that. So now let's go into Laura's question. Okay, so as always, when somebody has a question, we also have the same questions. And our higher selves are not separated. They are one with Source, right? And that's what we're seeing in this little group. Like it's one. It's not just one of us that has a question about the body or any of the questions. They are relating to kind of everybody, or can relate to everybody. So, okay, so just releasing my shoulders just quickly. Just gonna land in the now. Oh, okay, so Laura's in Idaho, Sanija's in Victoria, and Lynn is in the UK. See, we do have a little community because we've got the US, we've got the UK, and we got two in Canada. That's great. Thanks for letting me know. And then let's see. Okay, so Lynn is complete. I know Lynn, we're clearing. So Lynn is going to go with her team of unconditional love. It's actually a big activation, the whole like aligning the whole spine. So yeah, good. Okay, so Lynn's complete. So we're coming up to Laura, 1970. So I did screenshots, but then I wrote them down because YouTube erases them once the live finishes. So would you please ask my higher self and angels? And I just prefaced of unconditional love. So I suggest for Laura and everybody that they add unconditional love if they're calling in guides, angels, even with your higher self at first until you're savvy at seeing, the tricksters. Okay, so angels of unconditional love who work with Laura. If Laura's blueprint, okay, so that tells me that Laura has a lot of spiritual knowledge to know about the blueprint. So actually includes the ability to assist pain relief and other physical healing as one of the tools for being of service. And then her second part of her question was I have done various energetic trainings. Oh, yeah, there you are. And attunements, but I would love instruction and any adjustments needed to function At the highest level possible. Yeah, of course, if you're asking about the blueprint, then you're wanting the highest level possible, which is 9D. Go for 9D, right? Go for 9D. So from my angels of unconditional love. So again, I would just suggest to add that. Laura wrote angels, but I added unconditional love for how I am personally meant to work. Much love and gratitude. And I think that's the full question. Okay, so let's tune into Laura, 1970. So, whew, even in the last live, my microphone kept falling, so I buttoned an extra button to make it more sturdy. So we live and learn, right? Okay, so Laura's diamond body is activating. And that isn't something anyone can activate for you. It is only something that comes on when there's a sufficient clearing of what we call the atmosphere. It's an internal atmosphere to activate, and it's activating on its own. So Laura's diamond body is activating. Okay. That's important to know. They're saying like you're very creative, meaning it's not a modality. You don't need a modality. You have, it's kind of, that there's this tarot card that has all of these different specialties. I don't know if it's like the Eight of Cups, but it's like has all these specialties that you've done, these mastery. Actually, they're not just specialties, but mastery. You've done all this mastery. And they're saying like now you can just be creative. Now you can just be, you can use your compass, your intuition, your gut instinct, and then see for yourself. Oh, I see. She said the Seven of Cups. Yeah. So it's like, I can just see it. It's like these bubbles, it's like I've mastered this, I've mastered this, I've mastered this, I've mastered this. And so even the question of asking about her blueprint is a high level of consciousness. Not that there's like a high low, but it's like a very activated state to have your blueprint. But then once the blueprint is kind of aligned, then the diamond body activates from source on its own. It's not I can't do like a session. Oh, we're going to activate your diamond body. No, it doesn't work like that. We need to do the sufficient clearing. Yeah, they're saying yes. So there's been sufficient clearing. So Laura has done a lot of work. So a lot of mastery is the word that they want to use. Not the ego, not for the ego, but mastery is in terms of the word they want to say is a dedication, like a sovereign dedication to service. Yeah, so I just got all the goosebumps, which I call angel bumps. So angels of unconditional love is confirmation. So they're saying now you can be creative. So they're like seeing everything, like there's all these different screens, and they're like you can pull from what all of these different systems that you've learned from. There's golden nuggets, and then also look for what does not serve you. Okay, so look at both. What do I like and what doesn't feel aligned? And you be the boss. Okay, you're the boss. So you're looking at all the things that you've trained in, all the things that you've done, and you look at the things that resonate with your heart and then leave the rest and do not feel guilty. Okay, they're just a stepping stone. They're not, they're not your, they're not what your, they're not, they're not all your vibration anymore. It's not a judgment, it's it's like a vibration. It's like Reiki. Reiki was very good for 3D, and then people are changing it to like mediumship and Reiki, and I don't know, lots of other things about Reiki, but Reiki was hands-on, going from the head, going to the toe, the person turns over, head to toe, kind of like full body hands-on. It was very 3D. But even for me, I started with in 1990 with Reiki. If I do Reiki on people today, I only work in the ether, so I'm like 3 feet above their bodies. And I kind of stopped because people were going out of their bodies, and that's not helpful. I know they're relaxed. I know they want to be on the table forever. It feels good, but it's not helpful. If they're going out of their bodies, it's not helpful for this now body, right? So that's why I do open-eyed communication, like with Eckhart. When we meditated, or I meditated with him, it was one-on-one, but he sat in a chair and I sat in a chair, and then I talked to him what was happening, but it was always eye contact. And I was always present in my body. I never closed my eyes. I didn't dissociate. I didn't go off anywhere. I was conscious, eye to eye. And if I didn't do that, if say I didn't have that in me, he wouldn't have been my one-on-one teacher for 3 years, because that's the only way he worked. So, okay, they're saying good. So they're saying land in what you like, and now you start being the decider. Like, you're the judge now. You're like, this modality, I like this. And this, I'm going to leave. It's not a judgment. It's like, it just doesn't resonate with me, and I'm not doing it. And it's not a judgment. We don't have to say this is better or that better. Reiki was very good for 3D. People needed it in the 90s. They needed that energetic healing, and even to know that they have an energetic body. But now, people are kind of past that. We're wanting to clear what is interfering in our systems, because ascension cannot happen without, it's like really descension of awakening. It will not happen with interference. But Laura's Diamond body is activating. That's the right term that they want to tell you. Okay, they want to tell you there is a way of healing, and this is the example that they brought through, is Jesus, how he healed in the time of that time that he came in. I can't remember the year. We call it like the crucifixion lifetime. How he healed people is through coherence. And so his field was in coherence. So say he was 90, even then, which was very dense, he was like 90. So that's why he seemed so illuminated, because, he was 90 in a physical body, right? But even his Mother Mary, was 90 in a physical body, right? So people don't give her credit, but she was illuminated as much as he was, just like Mary Magdalene, his partner was. He came with a team. And so how he did healings is through coherence. So what Eckhart did with me was through coherence. So he sat in a chair and I sat in a chair. And then his field, which was probably, I was activating, so it was 1997 to 2000. So I was activating my 5D body. But yeah, so Laura says that makes sense. Thanks, Laura, for confirming. So, but he was 70. So I was trying, so with coherence, I was activating, kind of trying to kind of titrate. He was kind of, so if you think of it that way, that your field kind of, the other person will be titrating to your resonance. So just by holding your resonance, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, Gaia is 7, 8, 9D. Just by holding that coherence, that does so much healing. And your eyes are open and you're in your body and the other person is in their body. Because if the other person gets the healing, but they go out of the body, to me, it cancels out the healing because they dissociated. because the real healing and the real awakening is in the body. And that's why Eckhart has been the whole time, it's open-eyed meditation. Like, yeah, Lynn is saying it's like a tuning fork. Absolutely, like a tuning fork. It's exactly that. So Laura just can attune her field, and then whoever she's working with, they will be able to have that resonance of her field. And so if you're with somebody and your resonance is 5D, well, you're helping them a lot, because then they're going to have a chance to have a feeling of what that feels like to be in resonance with 5D. And then it activates it inside of them. So actually, the more you get into healing, the less you do. The less I do. So I used to really hustle, do long, super long hour sessions, 12-hour sessions, 10-hour sessions, real deep intensives. And now it's like, okay, well, that can happen in like, and they always said that the clearings happen really quickly. We just have to say yes and clear the resistance. So then to me, it's clearing the interference, is clearing the resistance. But so for Laura, okay, it's coherence, and it's just holding your field. It does feel like a holding, like you're going to feel it in your gut. It's going to be like your stomach. Yeah, they definitely want to bring in abundance in your life. I feel it so strongly with you, Laura. They really want to bring in a lot of abundance for you. Um, Okay, and they're saying, yes, go for the highest possible level. Like it is in you and your diamond body is activating. So just how I would say it is, I would say to my guides of unconditional love, the angels and archangels of unconditional love, I would say, yes, yes, I activate me. Yes, show me. Yes, help me. And help me clear anything that needs to be cleared. But they're looking at your field and they say that you're clear. So just, it's really a saying yes. It's kind of seeing where you are right now. And they're saying the diamond body is activating. It's a high vibration on earth. Congratulations. Good job. Yeah, it shows all the work that you've done. And I see all of those, pentacles or like discs, and then find your own style now. What works for you. Yeah. Good. Okay. Thanks, Laura. So now want to close. Oh, okay. And Laura's saying this helped a lot with embodiment. Yes, embodiment is the key. Like it is the key for ascension. It's the master class, I want to call it. Okay, so they're just like, again, they're just very gently like just aligning everything up, just because we opened you up really wide, and they're just like, we're just aligning everything, bringing you back, right, fully back into the now, because we expanded to kind of see where everything was, but now we want to go back into that alignment, and you'll feel it in your gut. You'll feel it in your gut. Good. And Lynn is saying, well done, Laura. Absolutely. That's Laura, you're a hard worker. You've done a lot. So, but Eckhart says some people they work really hard, and then like him, where he becomes conscious in like a snap, right? So he says you never know. You never know. You never know who people's higher selves are. In this work we start discovering that, but you never know. So good job to Laura, with much love and gratitude back. So good job. Yeah. Okay, so let's close for Laura. I'm going to just send you some hearts, some love. And then let's bring the field back for Laura, and then bring in the source, golden, white light. Golden and white light together, gold and white light for Laura. And then just bring it around, but also in and out. The pillar of light is inside, and that can never be harmed. no matter what we've been through in our lives, that pillar of light, if you are a starseed, an empath, sensitive, a light worker, any of those terms resonate, absolutely, it cannot be harmed. And the diamond body is amazing because once the diamond body starts activating, you work like like you refract back. You don't have to do so much in terms of clearing your energy because your energy kind of clears on its own. They want to tell you that. But they're like, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing and then let it activate and you'll feel the difference. You won't feel so sensitive. You won't be scanning the room. You know, you're energetically, you'll be like, feel more at home in your body and you won't be scanning. That's what they want to say. So you'll just be like, it's kind of like, think of it this way, like Jesus arrived and he was embodied, you know, it wasn't fantasy. He was in a human body and he was embodied with consciousness. And then everybody came around him. That's the kind of the shift that's happening for Laura. So instead of the seeking out, you're now going to be the embodied, and then you're going to be emanating the coherence. All right, good. So just doing a final release, getting the angel bumps, the confirmation, which you can't control that. Those, they're like body goosebumps. I can't make myself have those. They come on with resonance, like this is true. You know, so that's Laura's team of unconditional love saying, yes, this is true. So always looking for the confirmation from the body. All right, good. Okay, so thank you. So we're closed for Laura, 1970, and thank you and hi to Idaho. Thanks for letting me know where you're from. That's great. Okay, our global little team here. Okay, so just going to clear very quickly through the hair. I call it the fast track. I don't know. I've always been like that. I'm always looking for the fastest way. When I was meditating with Eckhart, I was always like, what percentage consciousness am I, Eckhart? Am I 100%? And he'd laugh. He'd be like, oh, very good. 1,000 consciousness would be like source. It's like ridiculous. But I was, 27. So I had like the big questions. So, yeah, anyways. But yeah, so the diamond body, that's the sun DNA. That's when your 12-strand DNA is activating. It's activating. Our DNA was altered to 2 by the Anunnaki, those 4Ders. They work from 4D. They're not originally from 4D. That's why they're so good at technology. They're actually from source, but they are called like the fallen because they kept making decisions and they got further and further and further away from source, which now they need a lot of energy. So but our DNA is activating. So that's Laura's 12-strand DNA. That's the diamond sun body, or you can call it the diamond sun DNA, or just the diamond body. It's basically we're clearing the cellular interference of the alterations of the DNA. And the DNA, our source, right? Our DNA is from source, is source. So I heard another teacher call it like the 12D recoding is another word. But we're basically, for Laura, what she's done is she's cleared the cellular interference. So it's in the cells. So we think the tech is out of our bodies, is not. It's in our cells, which affects our nervous system, which affects our bodies, right? And that's why we're have so many problems with our bodies. It's not our bodies. Our bodies are kind of like the divine. It's the interference that's the problem. So the Anunnaki compressed the DNA to 2, but once it's restored through the diamond body, another template that comes on is the crystalline template. And then another one is the soul blueprint. So that's what Laura was asking. She was asking about the soul blueprint. And so her soul blueprint would be lifetimes of the healer, lifetimes as a seer, lifetimes as an activator, lifetime as in service to source, like to be a beacon of light for others so that they awaken their own source spark, their own divinity. Eckhart's word is divine presence. That they awaken to their own. So it's less doing, it's more, the right word is coherence. So, but all of the cells get restored through the diamond body. Yeah, that's really good. And then the diamond body, but it's not, I don't know, some teachers are like, oh, let me activate your diamond body. It doesn't work like that, in my opinion. I could be wrong about, don't trust me, just find your own. But the information that I have received is through clients and through my own self has been that it is something that needs to be activated once the cells have sufficient clearing. And then our natural 12-strand DNA activates. But on Earth now, there's people that have the 24-strand DNA activating, and 34, 36. So 48-strand DNA, so which is very unusual, but it happens. And because I work with lots of people, I get to find out what's kind of going on. It's quite exciting. So stop thinking it's later or never or another life. It's not. It's in the now. It's all in the now. It's in this body, in this life. And then we're clearing the interference. And we're clearing it out of the cells from cellular memory. Yeah. And then it doesn't scare people, because if you start talking about like entities or things inside of you, people are like, oh, they're so scared of their body. But that was the intention. Be scared of the body. No, the body has everything it needs to become completely conscious in this life, in this body now. So that's the big secret that they don't tell us, Well, Eckhart does. Because he's good. He's a fun teacher. He's like, it's in the now, right? It's not later, it's now. Awakening is in the now. And he always said, if we did PhDs on our cells, one cell, we would never get to the bottom of the genius of just one cell in our bodies. So that's why our cells have been interfered with and our DNA has been interfered with, but they can't change our DNA. They can only put like overlays, like what I call false grids, like that's all they can do. They can put distortions or cover up, but they can't actually alter. Our 12-strand DNA is from source. It cannot be altered. It can only be hidden. So maybe think of it that way. So hope that's helpful. All right, exciting times. Diamond body's on. No, activating. That's the word they want to use, activating. Okay, so thank you to Laura. So we'll close all of that for Laura. And then if anyone else is experiencing that as well, or if it feels true to them. Okay, so let's go into the next question. So Sinija is the next question. Yeah, so Laura says, thank you. Okay, let's look at Sinija. Let's see what, I had a question written, but I thought I saw it here on the chat. Just let me take a look. Oh, our chat is so good. It's so lively now. Oh yeah, there's Sinija. So she's a bit closer to the top. Okay. Before was about exercise. And then this time it's, so Sinija 1973, she, her. Yesterday, I chugged my back. I chugged, and my back strained. It seems exercise bothers my body. This time I didn't fall down. What's the message and how can I incorporate exercise consistently? Okay, so it's the same question, but it's a bit more fleshed out. So let's take a look at Sinija 1973. Let's find out what's going on. Okay, so right away they're adjusting your neck. The left, they're stretching the left side of your neck. And so then if this feels true, you're going to feel like a yes in your body. Usually the gut is where I feel it. So I'll ask the question, I receive the answer, and then once I speak it, I'll feel it in the body. That's kind of how it works. So yeah, they just want to clear. They just, I know it's the word is acceptance, because the non-acceptance is creating a lot of stress for Sinija. So they really, it's like it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable on one level, but in order to kind of go through the door, acceptance is needed. And they say this with much love and much thanks. Okay. They want to be very gentle with you. Like they feel like they would be a billion times more gentle with you than how you would be with yourself. They would be extremely gentle with you. Extremely gentle with you. And so what we're seeing is like an archway, and it's saying, welcome. They want to welcome you into what acceptance feels like, to you the way you are right now, without not changing anything. Just acceptance of totally who you are in the now, and not anything changed. They want to be crystal clear that the acceptance is total. Okay, so 100%. So they're not looking at you saying, oh, Sinija, you need to change this, you need to change that, you need to change. They're saying, no, none of that. They're saying, we want to put like an archway over you that says welcome, and we welcome you exactly the way you are, with no changes. So it's not the exercise, it's the messages to the body. The body wants acceptance and respect, basically. Of, not that you don't respect your body. That's not how, because I know you're going to feel bad. No, they don't want to say that. They don't want to say anything that makes you feel bad. They're just saying, respect your body in the now. Like, accept the way your body is now. And then things shift very quickly with that acceptance. Okay, so we're just looking. We're looking at the field. How does that feel? How did that land? It feels like tricky, right? It's like, it's not easy to accept the way you are right now. What we're hearing. It's not easy to accept the way you are right now. It's creating a lot of tension in the third eye. So it's creating a lot of interference. But we're saying the interference is you, inside you, but it also is outside of you, with basically the 3D body has a lot of interference, right? So in the way that it is personal, but it is impersonal. So, and Sinija says that it's, Yeah. So okay, so yeah, so very supportive group here. So Sinija is saying, great job to Laura. And then so we're just working on the spine for Sinija. So they're just working on the alignment. And then Sinija said, how can we support this process of activating our DNA? The DNA activates on its own once the interference is removed, right? So it's not a doing, it's actually an unveiling or a removing, you just can keep saying, I don't want anything in my system that is not source aligned. And I mean it, like really put your foot down. I don't want anything in my system that is not source aligned. And you can keep repeating that, Sinija. Like, I want it removed. And then the body will help you do it in stages, where what this will come up. And then you'll be like, because it needs the witness. It needs, like, the crow is a witness for the earth, for Gaia. And Mother Earth, the crows are for Earth, I'm hearing. All of Earth, all the levels of Earth. So they're just aligning right now. They're just clearing. But the ticket they're saying is acceptance of what is. And it is radical because it's like, how can I accept? Like, there's so much wrong. Not from Source's point of view, not from God's point of view. They don't look at us and go, look, there's so much wrong with you. They always say what is right with us. It's the conscious mind that nitpicks us apart. But Source is emanating Source. So you can even say Source mirroring Source, or God mirroring God, or divine presence mirroring divine presence. It's that alignment of Source is in the body. Source is that pillar of light in the body. They're just clearing from your crown chakra. So just clearing. But they're saying the key is acceptance. And the activations, like Laura didn't ask for the activation. It happened because enough of the interference has cleared, and then it automatically aligns. But our full 12-strand DNA is there. It's only been interfered with, like, as overlays. So think of it that way. It's more just like releasing what is not for your highest and greatest good, releasing what is not true source of you. Okay, so just clearing the back. Just clearing the back. It's like, yeah, so Sinija is from the Angelic Collective. And they're saying what actually is available for you right now is actually to open your wingspan. And open your wingspan. And you'll actually feel a lot better. So there's been this tension in the back, and they're saying, but that's because the wings, they're energetic wings, but the wings want to open. And then once the wings open, you're going to feel a lot more secure. You can even kind of imagine putting your wings over you and then opening them, putting them over you before you sleep. And then they're just clearing the left side of the mouth, the top teeth and the mouth. So the liver. So they're just releasing, like, old anger. It's justified anger, but they're releasing, you don't need it in the present. So the body's saying it can be released now. So that's kind of how the messages come in. This is, okay, the wings are activating. The first thing was acceptance, though. We had to walk through the door of acceptance. And then as soon as Sinija walked through the door of, her body responded because she cried. So her body gave affirmation, yes, and because she cried, which is the release that she needed. And then as soon as she had that release, she's asking about the diamond body, then the wingspan opened. She's from the angelic collective. And then now that her wings are open, she's going to start feeling a lot better. She's not going to feel so like something's wrong and so cramped in her body. She's going to feel the expansion. And then the wings are very protective, but they only come on kind of with a certain level of consciousness. And the DNA is there, like even though it's been interfered with, it is there. And that's beautiful. So support from the community. So Lynn is saying to Sinija, I accept you, Sinija. And then Sinija says, oh, thank you. So thank you, Lynn. So that's beautiful. So now Sinija is going to start feeling a lot better, right? Because we're talking about the body. And so now that she has her wingspan open and she can close them, and now it's going to feel really good with the body because you can just imagine, okay, I'm just going to put them around me. I'm going to open them. And it is visualization. It is energy. It's not like we're going to look at her. Well, I probably might look at her and I could see her wings, but it's not like the regular, she's taking the bus and people can see her wingspan in the grocery store. It's not like that, but she's going to have this presence, and her body's going to feel a lot better because having the wings cramped, it's very constricting and it's very stressful, but they can only come on if there is enough consciousness, which means there's been enough cellular clearing. And that's why they want you, Sinija, to very much know that they accept you 100%. And they would like you to mirror that 100%. It's not fantasy, it's real. And it is that, the radical acceptance is the words they want to use. And then as soon as we hear that radical acceptance, that liver agitates, right? Because the liver is holding the past time. They want to say the past time, but it feels like in this past time life. It might connect to other past times, but it's for this past life. So just doing some clearing and some releasing, because it is bold. That 100% walking through the gate of acceptance is bold. So just releasing. It's not your anger, it's justified. It's justified. They're not saying don't have it. It's a protective mechanism, but they're saying it doesn't serve you anymore. So release it to source. Release it to source. Release all the anger to source and the people that are connected to the anger, the powerlessness, the injustice, like send it to source. I have like full body goose, you can see them, those angel bumps. They're saying, release it to source, and we can do that here now together, just release all of it, the people, the places, the things, the events, the injustice, the powerlessness, the hopelessness. Release it to source, because then it can get looked at from source. Because if we hold on, I call them the little stinkers because they are. If we hold on, then source can't intervene. When we let go, source steps in. So I send everything to source. I send everybody to source. I get tricked all the time, though. Believe me, I get tricked in my dreams. I just got tricked a couple nights ago, but I caught it in the day of the light, right? In the daytime, I caught it. And then it got mirrored and I knew exactly what happened and I released it to source. So the things I say, I do myself. I'm not just here talking about it. I'm doing it myself. And it is a constant process. We are in a 3D body, right? And our 3D body constantly needs clearing. It's not a judgment, it's a fact. 3D bodies get interfered with and we need to clear them. So the gate of acceptance and the wings are out. The wings are out. So we think that Sunija is going to start feeling a lot better now. And just remember 100% acceptance. And you just fake it until you make it. Just 100% accept my body, myself, the way I am, everything about me, everything that's happened. 100%, it doesn't mean that you're saying it was right or wrong. You're just saying it's a fact. It happened. I accept that it happened. I accept that is part of the story. But now I'm not holding, right? We're releasing the teeth. We're releasing the organs that are connected, which is the liver and the pancreas. We're releasing out of the organs to source. And it's not a passive act. It's actually a very high consciousness to even remember to send everything back to source. And so even the diamond body, what happens is the diamond body reflects everything off. So instead of it being kind of like a sponge and absorbing, you're kind of the opposite. You're like refracting. And then it goes to source. So now we're just doing it consciously. We're sending everything to source consciously. And then the diamond body, when the clearance and the cellular interference is sufficient, will come on its own. But we don't have to worry about it or worry about our DNA. Just clear everything and send everyone to source, especially the people that harmed you. Send them to source because they want you to not let go. They want you to keep fighting. They want you to stay enmeshed with them. I know lots of horrible people that want to stay connected with me. And I close the door. No way. There's no chance. It's like you had your time, you had your moment, it's done, and I just close the door. I'm, too old. Too old, and I care too much about consciousness and awakening. So I'm not interested. Okay. All right. So good. So they're like what I heard is we're landing Sunija, we're landing her. But she is in the gateway of acceptance. And then she can just imagine like a golden arch around her with a sign that says acceptance. A big gold sign, sparkling gold white lights. Acceptance. They really want you to accept the unacceptable and release it to source. And don't keep the burden. Don't keep the burden yourself. When we're around really, they want to use the word devious people, we have to release them to source. Or they're saying, just know that is a strong position to send the unacceptable to source, is a very strong position. There's no have tos because it's free will, but they're saying it's a strong position to do that. So, and your higher self and guides of unconditional love, the angelic collective of unconditional love, really want you to know that they love you and they are there for you and they see all. You are not alone. They see all. And they just need you to call on their help and they will be there. And then again, the angel bumps. And they're just clearing the organs. Because the organs don't need to, because we've named it, so the organs don't need to hold it anymore. The body will help and it'll hold onto things until we're ready to release it. So they're just releasing the back now, just releasing the heart. And the back of the heart, where the wings are, is the unconditional love, ironically, right? So can't activate the wings without the unconditional love. So they're saying it's time, basically. And then you decide if it's a yes. Yeah, and Cindy just says she calls in the team of unconditional love daily. So all the time. Okay. They're like, we could be like this all day. Hang out here, because they would call them in, and then it's like, but we're mirroring, so then a lot can hold in this space. Like, I'm super hot now because it's like a lot of light comes in the room, the whole team arrives. It's like a lot of light, a lot of golden light, a lot of heat. Is I feel it in heat, like temperature, because my body is like attuned to the field, basically, and the body tells the truth. The body always tells the truth. So good. Yeah. So they just say much love, much thanks, and then just keep saying yes. Yes, clear. Yes, I'm only with source. Yes, source mirroring source. Yes, I release all of these people, places, and things. I release, I release, I release. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. If that's too strong of a word, just use release, and just release to source. And then I always just say, I stay out of my business. Even myself, I stay out of my own business and send it to source. And then it'll come through layers of what needs to get cleared, step by step. Sometimes it can feel quite intense, but baths always help. Epsom salts, baking soda in your Epsom salt bath really helps, or just even a foot soak. So a foot soak before you go to bed, because that actually pulls a lot out of the cells that doesn't belong in the cells. A sauna, I heard. The sauna would be good. The foot soaks, because then you don't feel like, oh, I'm using so much water, or but if you can now, with this clearing, have a bath with Epsom salts and baking soda, or just Epsom salt or salt, and then or have a foot soak, like 20 minutes, kind of as hot as you can, and let the cells release all that released out of the organs, the pancreas and the liver. So then just it can release it all. And then your body's going to feel a lot lighter. And then now with your, yeah, so maybe the foot soak. So Cindy just saying that she has a hard time lying down in a tub. So just do the foot soak. That's what I do. It's faster, it's like less water. And I just do it, and I just listen to, I was always on my phone, here we are with technology. But last night I put on my favorite song, and I just listened to it on repeat, and just soaked my feet for 20 minutes. And it really helps with the evening and the nighttime. And then that's good. You can also like get Epsom salts or salt and just rub it on your body. Like if you have a shower, you can also do that. It really clears the body and the cell, the energetic systems, the kind of the etheric body. Can do that. And then if you don't want to do any of that, you just say, source, I just need you to send me unconditional love. I just want source's unconditional love. And you can use whatever word fits, like if it's God, or if it's source, or Eckhart uses the words divine presence. He loves the word divine, the divine, the divine. So whatever word pings true in your heart. And then the key is the acceptance. I accept myself exactly as I am. And they're just releasing the organs through the teeth. And you'll feel a lot better now that your angel wings are, we want to say, up and about, because you can call on them and just play with them, like cover yourself, open, because when you're from a very high vibration, like the angelic collective is like high vibration, unconditional love. And then you come into a 3D body and, they freak out, it's just quite horrible coming from a high vibrational being, of unconditional love. And so the 3D body is, a big challenge, but you can do it. It's step by step. But the first step, the big step, is the acceptance. And then just the gentleness, one step in front of the other, just like these micro self-care adds up to macro self-care. It really, once the micro, like the steps kind of come in, then the bigger things happen more easily. So the nighttime routine is very important. What you say to yourself before you go to bed. Like before I go to bed, I say to myself, I'm only with God, source, divine presence. Source mirroring source. And I have a very good prophetic dreams, and I rest the rest of the time. Just to say what's possible. Like, if I'm doing it, literally anybody can do it. So, okay. All right. So let's end here with Sinija. Yeah. So much love and much thanks. So Sinija says thanks. So yeah, good. So let's close her field now because we opened very wide. So let's close Sinija's field back. So she's basically just one with source and in the inner body. Good. And then just closing, kind of basically coming in back into the body. And then clearing, clearing, clearing. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Your team's like here, so they're like, release, release, release quickly, because it can happen very quickly when, we're together as a team. So we're just clearing, clearing, clearing. It's just using the wind. Yeah, they really want you to just release everything that's like, they're like, it's garbage. Garbage people, garbage situations, garbage, garbage. It's all garbage. Send it to source, send it to source. Don't carry it anymore. You carried it for a long time, they're saying. So release it, release it, release it. Okay, so there we go. All right, so Sanija's team is like right here. They're like, we could do more, but we're going to close though, because they'll continue to work with Sanija because Sanija calls them all the time. So they're now we basically open the gates, but we're closing them for security. And then Sanija can open them in her own kind of time frame. Yeah, that's the word we want to use. So, and just really anchor into that freedom of that acceptance, that it is freedom. Okay, and only alignment with the higher self and the teams of unconditional love. The past is honored and released with love. But Sanija chooses peace. She chooses strength. She chooses freedom and to be a full sovereign being in her power now with no interference, fully aligned with who she is. She's grounded and connected to source through the heart. And we now close the door to everything that Sinija wants to release that is not for her highest and greatest good. And this can be for everybody or anybody that wants this clearing, because this is very, they're putting their foot down. Good. All right, so sending lots of love. And I think we're going to close the session now. So let's close the session, close Sinija's field, and aligning her back with Source, surrounding her with golden light of Source. Okay, good. So closing the field. Claiming what is ours, and what is not ours, we're releasing it. But we're sealing this session in the name of Source, the divine. No interference, and only source aligned transmissions. We're really putting our foot down. We're creating that very stable anchoring into the now. Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here. Lynn is saying love to everybody and have a great week ahead, and lots of love to everybody, and thank you for being here, and thank you for especially coming on to the second live. But we did it. All right, so let's close here. With much love and much thanks. Anchoring into the present moment, into our inner body, connecting with our hearts, connecting with Source. Good. Thank you. All right. All right. Sunija says much love and appreciation. So thank you. And thank you for all your messages in the chats. I know there was one person I didn't get to that was on the first chat, but I'll try to get her the next time. Helen, 1962, if you want to, I'll actually answer Helen's question in the next YouTube live. All right, see you next in the next one. And there'll always be, the YouTube lives will always be posted on my posts for YouTube. So thanks for checking in, and everyone take care and be good to yourselves, and much love and much thanks. So we'll end here again. I just want to make sure that the session is ended and we're all back in our bodies, and we're all grounded into the now, connected to Source, divine presence, anchored to Gaia, to Mother Earth. So we're grounded, protected. And then, yeah, feels good. Okay, thanks everyone. Take care. Bye.